Now if I duplicate the button and place it anywhere, then change the text. After running the preview, a text will appear on that button with the variable text. I'm not creating any new object, I'm not placing text on them manually, the engine is doing it all for me. Then change the text of each instance and finally align them with the buttons using events. To do that, let's create a text object first. It seems okay. Now just delete this instance. It's time to get to know about instance variables. An instance variable is a variable defined in a class for which each instantiated object of the class has a separate copy or instance. Let me show you how to use it. Click on any of the tab buttons and here you can find instance variables. Click on this icon to open up the instance variable dialog box. Now click on edit object variables and add a variable here. Object variables will be available in all of the instances of that object. And now we can set different values for each instance of the object. So let's set the text of this object to play, this object to options, and this object to about. Later we can get the value of this variable in the events editor. Open the events editor and click on this button to create an empty event. Let's add a comment above, placing tab names. Now we need to create this text object over here, and over here. So click on the add action button. This is the new layout. Here you need to select the object you want to create first. Then search for create an object action. Now we need to specify the position where the object will be created. As we need to place the text on the tab buttons, let's get the x coordinate of the tab button object just like this. X method returns x coordinate and as you can guess Y method returns the Y coordinate. Now we are good to go. Before I run the preview, let me ask a question. Do we need a condition? Yes, we should create the object only for once. So let's select the trigger once condition. Now let's click on the preview and where's our text object? Z order is the next thing we need to care about. In 2 dimensions, Z index or Z order is a property that defines which objects goes forward and which objects goes backward. If I just close the preview and go check the Z order of my tab buttons, you can see it's 4. So any object that needs to appear over it, that has to have 5 or higher Z order. So let's go back to the events editor and add another action. Select the text object, then search for Z order. And finally set it to 5 or higher. Now run the preview again. Now we are able to see it, but there's just one text object. That's not because we are using the trigger once condition. It's because we are not creating text objects for each tab button. Fortunately, in GDevelop we have a for each loop for that. So click to append that for each event block. Click here to choose the tab button object. Then just put that event block inside this. Now let me run the preview. And we have it. But all the button has the same text. Well, at this moment we can use the value of the objects variable to change each object's text. Now add another action. Select the text object and search for modify text action. I'm going to set its value to the variable's value. To do that, click on this button and search for the object variable. From here, select the button object and below that choose the name of that variable, then click OK. Run the preview and cool, isn't it? Here's the thing, at this point we made our buttons so handy. Let me show you what I mean. Let me change the background color so that we can spot the buttons. Now if I duplicate the button and place it anywhere, then change the text. After running the preview, a text will appear on that button with the variable text. I'm not creating any new object, I'm not placing text on them manually, the engine is doing it all for me. Well, it's time to make the text more appealing by aligning those with the buttons.